my name is Louise and welcome to Adventures with Yarn. This is usually my knitting and crochet podcast in which I talk mainly about knitting and crochet. I was going to take this week off and enjoy vacation with my family. I am still enjoying vacation with my family here on the beautiful Oregon coast, which is like my favorite place to knit. But in light of some recent online developments in the online knitting community, I thought I'd take just a second to make a quick video and let you guys know what's going on and share a few thoughts about it. So, as you may have noticed, if you follow the knitting community on Instagram or Ravelry, that Ravelry has come out with a new policy this weekend. If you're unfamiliar with Ravelry, it is pretty much I would say one of the most popular resources for all people that craft with yarn. It is a free platform that you can use to sell patterns, buy patterns, share inspiration and creativity, talk about knitting, crochet, spinning, dyeing yarn, all kinds of goodness like that. So let me talk to you about their new policy. So their new policy, I'm going to read it to you. New policy: do not post in support of Trump or his administration. Sunday, June 23rd, 2019. We are banning support of Donald Trump and his administration on Ravelry. This includes support in the form of forum posts, projects, patterns, profiles, and all other content. Note that your project data will never be deleted. We will never delete your Ravelry project data for any reason, and if a project needs to be removed from the site, we will make sure that you have access to your data. If you are permanently banned from Ravelry, you will still be able to access any patterns that you purchased. Also, we will make sure that you receive a copy of your data. We cannot provide a space that is inclusive of all and also allow support for open white supremacy. Support of the Trump administration is undeniably support for white supremacy. Policy notes: you can still participate if you do in fact support the administration. You just can't talk about it here. We are not endorsing the Democrats nor banning Republicans. We are definitely not banning conservative politics. Hate groups and intolerance are different from other types of political positions. We are not banning people for past support. Do not try to weaponize this policy by entrapping people who do support the Trump administration into voicing their support. Similarly, antagonizing conservative members for their unstated positions is not acceptable. You can help by flagging any of the following items if they constitute support for Trump or his administration. Projects. Unacceptable projects will be provided to the member or made invisible to others. Patterns. Unacceptable patterns will be returned to drafts. Forum posts. Right now, only posts written after Sunday, June 23rd at 8 a.m. Eastern. Profiles. Please do not flag profiles yet if the only banned content is an avatar or avatars. There is not yet a flagging system for those. Much of this policy was first written by a role-playing game site not unlike Ravelry, but for RPGs, named RPG.net. We thank them for their thoughtful work. For citations/references, see this post on RPG.net, and they give a link to that. So, very interesting. Very interesting. Ravelry has lately made a lot of steps towards inclusivity, especially in the realm of racism. And you can see my previous video. I do have a video, Is the Knitting Community Racist? In which at that time the knitting community was very much aware, involved. The conversation was active about racism within the knitting community. Ravelry at that time responded by, really encouraging diversity and really making sure to feature and spotlight people of color within the Ravelry community. Ravelry has also made strides towards being inclusive by acknowledging Gay Pride Month, which is June. They have a rainbow flag, and they make it known that they support the LGBTQ plus community. I think that this policy is also meant to be more inclusive because, they say that we cannot provide a space that is inclusive of all and also allow support for open white supremacy. So apparently what was going on is that there was some hate speech, and I haven't been able to read exactly what was said, but people are saying online that hate speech from Trump supporters was being spewed on Ravelry. That's really, really unfortunate. But I feel like what's also unfortunate is the way that we're addressing that is to ban support of the Trump administration. I wish that we could ban the hate speech, the, you know, hurtful language and, you know, racism, discrimination against each other, but rather instead they are saying support of Trump administration is undeniably support for white supremacy. So you will be banned, you will permanently be banned from Ravelry if you openly support our president or the Trump administration. So you could post something and say, you know, pray for our president, and you will be banned from Ravelry. Okay, for one, this is not technically an issue of free speech, because Ravelry is a privately owned website. They actually have the right to ban whoever they want. If they decided that abortion is a murder, and if you support abortion, you're banned. They could, if they wanted to, they could do that. This makes me sad. I wish that we could live in a world where we are truly all inclusive. And I'm not talking about tolerating the intolerant. I'm talking about inviting everyone to the table. Diversity is a beautiful thing. To be diverse, we have to have people who think differently, look differently, live differently from ourselves, and respect and celebrate those differences. I wish that we could live in a world where everyone is welcome. Everyone is welcome to sit at the table and have open dialogue and conversation respectfully. If you have a different opinion than somebody, how are you going to change their mind if you don't sit and really talk to them and understand where they're coming from and have them understand where you're coming from? I can tell you, everybody in this world, for one, is different. Everybody's unique and different and awesome in that way. And everybody in this world knows something that you don't. You can learn something from everybody if you take the time to really value your differences and listen to each other. I'm saddened that it's hard to put into words. I'm saddened that this statement from Ravelry, which I'm sure is meant to promote inclusivity, is actually alienating everybody who supports the Trump administration. I mean, those are the words that they said, that they are not going to stand for it, and if that's how you feel, you will be banned. I think, you know, I think that this is a very slippery slope, because in trying to be inclusive and not discriminate, you kind of have discriminated. And even more so than just the people that have been doing the hate speech, those that have been hurting other people have now been, you know, used as the, you know, stereotype for all people who support Trump. And I think that's dangerous. I don't think that you should be putting labels and stereotypes and assuming that people think certain ways. I really wish to promote a message of love and inclusivity for all. And I understand that, you know, that most people, a lot of people believe that, you know, you love everybody except for those that are intolerant. I just don't see progress being made if you are addressing intolerance by making broad statements and excluding everyone that fits under a broad spectrum. So that's what I have to say about it. Our world's not perfect, guys. People are not perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. But I feel that the right thing to do is to keep open dialogue, keep being respectful. I'm not saying to tolerate hate speech and racism and discrimination, but I just think that this could be done a little bit differently. Alright, I hope you found this video informative. I will be resuming the regular podcast next week. We'll be continuing on with our mac and cheese sock knit along. I will be reaching out to this week's winner since I am skipping this episode of this week right now. And I will be listing on Instagram the ways to win the next week's prize. Alright, I hope you guys are all doing well. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button and feel free to subscribe. Alright, thank you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye!